Oh, no chocolates today, Mr. Woods?
No, Ruby. This is all I need. Papa always told me, life is like a box of lollipops. All the flavor and fiber you'll ever need to get far in life. Boy, was he right. I never really had an end goal. Never had a reason to stop either. All I knew was I could run forever with one. Until I ran out.
And then what?
I went home.
Oh.
Konnichiwa. Welcome to Tokyo. I'm Chris Chavez, joined by Eric Jenkins, Mitch Dyer, Champs Chat, where it's live from Tokyo. Made it here. This feels a little late for us because we're still getting used to the time, but what a night of track and field. Day one in the books.
Day one.
We got our first taste of the National Stadium, and it was rocking tonight. 80,000 people, I think. This mic.
All right. Start from the top.
So 80,000?
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. 80,000 people in the stands today for the evening session, and it was getting loud anytime that they had one of their Japanese stars in races, which was like all throughout the night. So lots to unpack. We're going to hit all of the finals, the medals that were awarded in the evening session. But first impressions of the National Stadium. Eric, what'd you think?
Fantastic. Crowd was... We kind of been talking. It's like we're the loud Americans anywhere we go, and I'm like trying to keep my voice down and whisper and do things like that. And you get into the stadium, the energy was very high. The women's 10K was electric, and I'm just thinking about like you mentioned, anytime a Japanese athlete was on the track, the crowd was going nuts. The men's steeple athlete. Bananas.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I thought the energy was great tonight.
We've got a TV star on our hands here because, Mitch, you've been doing some work for Australian TV. What's it like on the posh side of the media?
It's nice to be on the posh side of the media. Usually I'm the last guy that gets to ask a question. So I've actually been getting in trouble with Australian media because I'm taking too long and people are hanging around and we're kicking it and like having a full conversation once it's over, and they're getting flagged. They're like, bring him down. And I'm like, how cool's Tokyo? They're like, oh, it's so sick here. So it's nice. I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to being at the front of the pecking order. But yeah, it's been great. Aussies have done well.
I think the other key thing is that people have missed you on the mic.
Well, I don't know about that, but I mean, it's great to be back. It's great to be camera facing. I feel like I did a lot of work over in Europe, and it was just behind the scenes. And there were a couple of things being like, oh, it's nice to have this guy back. And then a couple of people were like, why have you sent the Australian to do the interviews? Can we get an American voice? So I'm probably 50-50 on that, but I'm stoked to be back. It's nice to be rolling here in Tokyo.
All right, so since obviously all throughout these World Championships, the Australian team is going to be coming up, what's going to make for a successful World Champs for Team Australia this time?
Well, for us, the most medals we've ever won was Budapest. That was 6. And I feel like we came into it with high expectations. We lost the race walker, which I know doesn't mean a lot to Americans, but she's medaled at the last 3. So that was one that we've already scratched off. We lost Nina, obviously, the week before. She tweaked a muscle. We've actually got her on broadcast back home, so her broadcast debut is going on right now. So we lost those 2, but I think the metric would be to equal that. I think if we won another 6 without those 2 would be amazing. And then whatever the youth does. I mean, all our attention or global attention's been shifted to Gout, which is very fair, but I think to alleviate some of the expectation off his shoulders, Tori was fantastic today for us, broke another national record as a junior. Sorry, just out of junior ranks now. But yeah, I think whatever our juniors can do will be great. If we can win 6, it'd be a big championships.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we'll be able to hear you in the stadium when those big moments happen. I'm sure it would have been cool to have a camera on you when the Australian record was broken today. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it when we go through the heats, but yeah, it was awesome to see.
All right, so we are coming off of the momentum and the high of watching the first medal on the track get awarded, and that was the women's 10,000 meter final, which we sized this one up as Beatrice Chebet's gold medal to lose. She's coming in as the Olympic champ, so strong all throughout the season, closing these races in like 26, 28 seconds. And so her kick has been unmatched. And so we knew that was going to be the case today, that like at some point when the race gets going, you kind of have to go from a little far out to try and get the kick out of Beatrice Chebet's legs. But as of right now, no one in the world can do that. And at 1K to go, the pace really accelerated. And it was a pack of about 4 at that point, where it was Beatrice Chebet, Agnes Ngedic, Nadia Batocletti, and Gudaf Sagai. And for a while, I'm watching this race, and I'm thinking, Gudaf Sagai may have listened to your podcast, Eric.
Gudaf Sagai's a big fan.
And
she goes, this guy's actually talking a lot of sense. And I got to sit, I think. I was watching this, and it was pretty shocked. It was a fantastic race.
Yes.
The way that all played out, because you had there would be a lot of laps that Agnes Ngedic is leading, and then Beatrice Chebet would take over. Then Ngedic would switch back, and they'd be looking around. They would like be seeing. They're almost like looking like who's going to come help, right? And which is I was kind of surprised about, right? But of all the people, Gudaf Sagai never touched the front, sat in the back the entire time
until a K to go.
And I mean, it's. She said as long as she possibly could.
Yeah.
She's like, I got 1K left. I've got to go.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, Beatrice Chebet is. You're not gonna be able to run the legs out of her.
No.
She's just on fire right now. The best in the world, best in history. And so it really was. It was gonna take a monumental effort to really get in there and break that up. Yeah. But it was the energy in that the stadium was fantastic. I was like, this really is an incredibly exciting race. The Japanese crowd was going so hard,
ballistic for Rurika Hironaka.
It was like you would have, if you were just listening to it, you'd be like, Hironaka is going to end up on the podium.
But it's already been decided.
But
it's
the
like,
podium's decided. They're like, no, we just like to see a race, and we were just happy for her giving it her best effort.
6th.
It was, and it was just the energy there, so fun. Everyone was really celebrating. And so, like a lot of times you see in these races, these meets, once like the 10K gets on, people start clearing out, and it can be some dead air in there. And it was so much fun, but incredibly exciting race. It was huge for like the Italian athlete. This is her. Was she second in the 10?
Yes.
Last year.
Yeah. Nadia Batocletti. Yeah. So match is what she did last year.
Match is what she did last year.
Same 1-2.
Same. Okay. Yeah. Same 1-2. But it was
her kick was
her kick was fantastic.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you're watching that last 100, and you see her go, and you're like, does she have a shot at it? And it's the way that Beatrice was accelerating. No, she didn't. But still, incredibly exciting race, and I thought it lived up to the hype and even more.
Mitch, what stood out to you about this one? Because I mean, from the get-go, like the race splintered pretty quick. This wasn't like the Paris Olympics last year where everyone was bunched up and no one went until about 800 to go last year. Everyone was in it. And then this time around, you look at just kind of like how the field was just splintered. There was a pack of like 7, and then just like people running their own race all throughout the track. This one was a weird one.
Yeah, it did fracture by the looks of things. I have to put my hand up. I don't get to watch a lot of it downstairs. I'm trying to chase people, but I did get to watch the last K and a bit. And I suppose it just kind of felt like Beatrice Chebet, at least for those closing stages, particularly that last 250, was just kind of playing with her food.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. And there wasn't a lot of tactics. There weren't a lot of moves to be made on that chessport that could have put her in checkmate. Like, she was just easily able to cover the squeeze, the push of the pace, and kind of, I feel like when you have that presence in that pack, it just creates a nervous tension, a nervous energy that we need to either get rid of or shake it up. And then in the process of shaking it up, your own race is getting, splintered, and it was just her race to win the whole way through. I admit, at 80 meters, I don't know how to say the Italian girl's last name. Battacletti. I thought this might be something. I thought maybe there'll be an upset, and maybe it was the camera angle I was getting downstairs, because I was like, holy hell, she's going to beat her. And then the camera straightened up, and I was like, okay, she's got about 10 meters clear. But I mean, she's a tremendous athlete. To your point, Eric, she's obviously the fastest of all time, and to back a major is never easy, but she certainly made it look easy.
Yeah, so I think one thing that sticks out to me about this race with Gudov's tactics in particular, because I agree with you in the sense that like everyone in this field is just like, all right, when is Chebet gonna go or start to kick? And when Gudov went to the front, you could tell with about like 600 to go, she was like, yeah, this one didn't really work out. You could see it from the strain in her face. And she's like, I don't have the wheels. And then at that point, once Chebet starts moving and you could sense that she's getting antsy, it's only a matter of time till she, bursts down everyone else's doors. And so it was Chebet 30-37. It was a quick race, once things kind of started getting going. Battacletti 30-38, Gudov Sagai 30-39. Agnes Ngedic was another one who was in the mix for a long time. She ends up just off of the podium. Something's weird where she just doesn't run on the rail whatsoever. She always leaves like so much room in on the outside of and runs on the outside of lane 1. But these are all the usual suspects that we thought were going to be in contention. So Hironaka, I would say a bit the surprise here, finishing 6th. She's probably raking in a good bonus from her corporate team. Like here in Japan, I'm sure they have stuff that it's like, oh, like if you finish top 10, like, extra money. And so huge showing for her. As we kind of go down, Lauren Ryan for Australia, top 10 finish. That's a good day.
That's a great day. Yeah. Lauren was pretty happy about it at the end. I think she maybe still is a little upset that she didn't get picked for the double. But I mean, the only way to go out and show that you're a class athlete is to have a class race. So I would say for her, she said that she wanted to be top 5. I think that she, upon reflection, will be very happy with a top 10 finish. And that's a great result to hang in a field like that, to your point, that gets splintered and fractured and no consistency.
It was genuine carnage after that lead pack. And because it was the second to last event of the night, the track seemed slow. Overall, people just weren't running fast. I mean, I was thinking about, as we're watching the women's 15, and I'm thinking last year to Paris, and so many of the opening prelims
were 3:55.
Yeah, they were
well sub 4,
sub 4, and none of them were like that. And then you watch the hundreds.
And no sub 4s today.
No one was close.
No sub 4. I think Faith ran 4:02 or 4:01 like in the final heat, and that was the fastest time. And then the hundreds, I mean, these guys couldn't break 10.
Yeah. Outside that first heat, no.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you got Keisha Thompson, like Noah Lyles ran his heart out for a 9.95. And then everyone else, it just seemed like it was, I mean, don't even get me started on Kenneth Rooks in that steeplechase. But man, people were really working, and it just seemed like the conditions out there were very tough.
Yeah. I looked in the middle of the 10K race to see what the weather was, and it was 80 degrees, which like you start to feel here, the humidity, all of that. But yeah, I mean, I'm I'm in agreement with you in terms of just like it felt like a slow day for such a famously fast track because of everyone's talking and remembering what Tokyo was.
And it's like, yes, it was 80, but it felt there must have been something more because it's weird. I mean, it's
humid.
It was
Yeah,
humid.
it's really humid.
Very humid.
It is really humid.
So yes, it's 80, but it's humid.
It's sticky.
And it's kind of tough to gauge because it's like, yes, we're sitting in the stands and it's a little bit hot.
Yeah.
But
when you're banging out 25 laps,
I'm kind of sweating in the stands.
It feels hotter.
So like I get to trust you if you're saying it's tough out there. But there's when everybody's kind of looks a bit off.
Yeah.
It's just you're like, okay, like the conditions are tougher than it looks out there.
Might be the bus. The
bus there? Like the one that
no, it's the bus that you have to take from the warm-up track to the call room.
Oh, how far away is it?
15 minutes. So like you warm up at the warm-up track.
That's not ideal.
Then you get on a 15-minute bus ride, and then you go into a 50-minute call room.
You season up a little bit there. There's not enough movement.
No, Lyles brushed it off, and he had a pretty set game plan for the whole entire thing, and he had a good day. But yeah, I mean, so I feel like maybe day one, everyone's kind of getting used to, and so many of these athletes are doubling up that it's like, all right, don't blow it on the first day. So one other thing to talk about in the women's 10K is how the Americans fared. So kind of the standard that we had set for like what would make for a good day would be match or do better than last year's Paris Olympic team, which was, I believe, it was like 8th, 9th, 11th. And today, top American, Elise Cranny in 12th place, 31:40. Emily Enfeld, 31:47 and 14th. Taylor Rowe all the way back in 18th and 32:12. So not a great showing for Team USA today. It was if you were having a hard day today, you got exposed pretty quick.
Basically, right off the jump. Right? It's like these, especially in the 10K, they gave you 1K to hang on, and then they made their move, and basically it was kind of like every athlete for themselves out there after that. It seemed Elise Cranny ran strong, right? And
for a while she was like in 9th and hovering around there. Yeah,
but it's so tough to like try and make moves, and it's like if you're in like the 10th place and you're in no man's land and you're trying to catch like 9th, it's tough to really gather it up to catch 9th when you're fading. It's tough conditions. It's like most likely you're gonna get caught
on someone's latching on. Yeah.
It's like, it's most likely it's like you're not catching 9th.
Yeah.
Right? You're fading to 12.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not with a pack in these conditions, it's also take into account it's been a long year. I mean, it's like for Elise to bounce back after a long she's been racing these Grand Slams. She didn't look great.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good performance. I mean, an athlete like Emily Enfeld, like it's fantastic. She won USA's and made it here. I think it's easy to like kind of look at that race on paper and be like, yeah, like these athletes could have done a bit better, but you to actually see it play out, and you're like, there's something out there on the track where these athletes are working super hard. It's tough.
That's a good point. Maybe like a good day is a great day on an atmosphere like this. Just in terms of, to your point, the conditions. Once you've already fatigued in terms of your body and everything like that starting to go, you add the humidity, you add sort of, to your point, being in no man's land or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
To hold on is sometimes half the victory. So at least the American women, for the majority, managed to hold on. It's not a blowout by any stretch. It's not the worst day you could possibly imagine. Oh my God, we've run 33 minutes. I'm getting lapped after lap after lap, whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best day, but a good day is a great day on a night like tonight.
Yeah. And that I think does it for the 10K. This is one of those events that like we really won't see much of next year because it's not at the Ultimate Championships, and then the next time out will be 2027. So that's what's ahead for this event. Max got a theory that Beatrice was purposely running this one slow so that she could take it to Faith in the 5K.
That would be fun.
Well, I mean, there's definitely
You need your legs to
you
go up against
obviously
Faith.
are thinking about that,
Yeah.
right? Like, of course, if you're Beatrice Chebet, you're thinking about this 5K, and it's like, okay, I need to get through this race as easily as possible.
Yeah.
I've got my hands full with Faith Kipyegon in that 5K. How do I get number one, accomplish the goal of getting the win, getting that gold medal? But how do I do it the easiest way possible? And I do think like today, it will be a pretty easy effort for her to recover from. I did think it was kind of interesting to see because there were points in the race where she was taking the lead, and it's like she was kind of taking the lead, but not really pressing. She didn't take it. She took it just enough to maybe keep the pedal on a bit, but enough for Agnes and Getty to be like, let me get back out there. And I'm like, she took the lead, but didn't really do anything with it. So that there is absolutely some gamesmanship going on in there from Beatrice, and like the if everything goes well with the prelims and the final with Faith and her, like that 5K is going to shape up to be something pretty special.
Oh yeah. Mac and I did our preview, and we're like, that's the best women's distance race of the whole entire championship.
I mean, it's like one of the best in recent memory. Like, think about like they're both on world record.
It's 4 of the top 5 or 6 fastest women of all time.
So yeah, not even just them, right?
Yeah.
But those two, like Beatrice broke 14 this year.
And then Faith broke
Faith was
340
trying to break
before.
4. Like genuine historic years, and yeah, I mean, hopefully, and you can't imagine them not making it through.
Some disaster would have to happen.
You don't want to, you don't want to count your chickens before they hatch. But yeah, that 5K final is going to be something.
Who
crazy.
did you? And if you've already done the preview, I haven't seen it. Who'd you have?
Ooh, we didn't pick.
Or we
but
didn't
I
do
think-
it. Oh, see, you can't sit on the fence. You can't preview it and then just
Yeah.
go like, well, we'll see what happens.
All right, so
If you had to gut check it right now, just straight down the line, after watching tonight, like you can
Chebet.
factor, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's tough to see Faith Kipyegon like. I mean,
well, she lost in Paris.
yeah, but I think like her 3K time has.
It equates to the same thing as a
The 3K was impressive.
13:58.
Is it
5K.
about that? Yeah. Man, it is one of those things where I'm like, you could make great arguments for both, but and this will also play out to how tough this 15 is going to be. Like how Faith going to have to kind of do it like Beatrice, and it's like I'm going to have to get through this 15 with the easiest gold possible. I do think that a multiple 15 races are probably more taxing
Then there's 110K.
than one 10K.
And you also get, I think, from the 10K to the 5K, you have more rest.
You have a lot of rest. Now one really hard, like one, if it was one brutally fast 10K, then that could take a lot more out of
Yeah.
you. But I do think multiple races also require like it's like more of an emotional up and down. Like you have to get it up for each race, and then you have to also learn how to come down from each race. So I just think that the 15-5 might be a tougher schedule.
Yeah. All right. Are you leaning one way or another?
I think Faith wins it, but I on the adverse to that think that if it were to set up a situation like tonight for Beatrice where you can kind of play games a little bit, I think there's a slight bigger risk that Faith's taking a bigger gamble in the 15 than Beatrice was taking in the 10 tonight.
Yeah.
In that I still think Faith has the best kick, but on any given day, in any given moment in a 1500, I think more carnage can happen than the back end of a 10. So if she is playing that game, I think she has a little bit more of a gamble, but yeah, I don't know. I just always find it hard to imagine her losing. She's just been so prolific at winning.
Yeah.
She's just a winner. So I'll
Feels
stick
like
with
it's
her.
2-1 right now. You guys taking Faith over Beatrice.
I'm keen to know what Mac thinks.
Mac, do you have a... After today, he's thinking...
He
He thinks
And
Beatrice
that was
almost
playing a
lost.
game
Yeah.
too. Like that was playing with the field.
Yeah, but she didn't. Yeah, all right,
Okay,
so we're split.
I like it. I like the 50-50
Yeah, it's
split.
good.
I'm
All right, when
about
Paul
that.
Hof-Mahoney gets here, we'll have him break the
Yeah,
tie.
he's like Ryan Krause. Or,
He's just coming in hot. The best shot put comp you've ever seen. It's like tell us
It
the
was a good
50-50.
one. It was a good one.
It
I'll
was.
give him
Last
that.
round was good.
All right, so now, that was the only track final, individual track final today. Anderson will join us later and go over the rounds of the hundreds and the 4x4s. But let's touch on some of the first rounds that we saw today. So meet opened up in the evening with the men's steeplechase, and if we go kind of heat by heat, first one pretty standard. Edmund Serum from Kenya wins it, 8:29. Getting at Wally Ryuji Mura, who had the place going like nuts,
mental.
Great
so
way to
watch
open
for
the track,
him. Yeah. Perfect setup. Isaac Updike finishes 8th, doesn't advance. In heat 2, we had this one was a crazy one. Everyone was in it up until the bell, and then George Beamish takes a tumble and almost nearly gets spiked in the face.
Yeah, how's that picture? And he hadn't seen that one, the main one that he ended up using, where the New Balance spike is just about through his temple. And you've never seen a guy more relaxed about nearly getting his face ripped off on the track, because I spoke to him after and we were chopping it up, and he's like, man, how about the fall? And I didn't see him fall. And I saw someone else fall. I'm like, oh, yeah, that was hectic. Can't believe the German went down. He's like, the fucking German. He's like, man, I nearly got my face ripped off with 400 to go. I was like, you serious? And
He's
then,
like, how about the fall? You're like,
Yeah.
the season? Yeah, it's a good one.
hell of a time.
Yeah.
But he, obviously got up and dusted it off. And I was in the middle of telling him, man, your last 100 looked great. Like, you look so strong. And then he obviously proceeded to be like, yeah, well, I nearly got my face ripped off. So, George, a really healthy George Beamish is a damn good athlete.
He looked the best of any athlete today.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, he took an incredibly hard spill with like 350. It was inside 400 meters to go, got up and still easily made it through. It wasn't like he was a hard tumble and you're like, okay, well, the race is done. Or you'd be maybe like closing.
You're at the death trying to get there.
Trying to get to fifth. It's like he almost won the heat, pretty relaxed.
You see the Sally? Just
He looked.
the dust the shoulders
I
off.
really thought George looked super good today. Probably like
for a guy who hasn't raced in 3 months.
exactly for a guy who
This is one
rusty.
of the greatest middle distance guys at bouncing back from injuries. I swear to God, he must have the greatest cross training routine of all time, because he'll go missing for months. He'll get a stress fracture, he'll get a stress reaction. What I would love to see his medical records, because it would just be stress reaction, dating all the way back to when like we were racing each other back in Australia when we were 18. But this guy just continuously, when it comes time to show up and it comes time to run a major, he's there every time. His Olympics was phenomenal. He's missed a couple here or
What
there.
was he, 5th at the Olympics?
Yeah, and don't forget he's a world indoor champion as well across the mile. This guy knows how to get it done. So I didn't have him in a medal sort of perspective before this started, but my cross Tasman boy, my Anzac man, go get that medal, son. Go get it.
Those
injury,
odds.
Injury prone, and his body's like hard fall. Great.
Get up. Yeah, get up. We've done this before.
Super hard fall. That'll do well with us.
Sometimes you just need that adrenaline rush too, I guess, of like of an eventful first round to just like wake yourself up and be like, all right, it's the World Championships. Like,
Get going.
I think back to the same track. Sifan Hassan falls in the 1500 as she's attempting like the triple, gets right back up and like crushes like maybe one of the fastest final 300s of a race I've ever seen, and then goes off and fares very well in the event come the final. So yeah, you sometimes need that just like jolt of energy to really get you back in it. But yeah, I would love to know what the odds makers had George at
Would have been
before.
big. Would have
Because
been.
now on the
now we got-
refresh,
now we
He
got-
ranked 49th in the world or something like that.
Yeah.
Now we got to check FanDuel for that final coming up.
Someone's out there happy as like all these coffee club fans are out there just so stoked.
Oh, they probably are.
Oh,
yeah.
mate, they are
check the
making
Discord, yeah.
big money. I swear.
Okay, so also in the same heat, kind of was happening on the other side of the track as like the main race was happening.
What happened here?
Kenneth Rooks,
Yeah.
he was just out of it, like from the get go. And then what's going on?
No, we're talking about I've been gassing up Frederick Rupert, and I was on the morning show today because I was like, I'm
All
like,
right, we'll get to Kenneth Rooks in a sec.
I was like, who the fuck is this German guy running 8 flat.
Yeah, 801. Yeah.
801. I mean, like, I didn't know. I'm like, what did he run before? Like, where the hell did this guy come from? But Kenneth Rooks, I mean, nobody had a tougher day out there today than Kenneth Rooks. It was, I mean, a mile to go. He was, I mean, he was out for, this is a silver medalist in Paris last year at the Olympics, and damn near with 250 to go looked like a gold medalist, right?
Yeah.
So it's to see him with over a mile to go, he's like 50 meters off the pack.
He ran 8:45.
He ran 8:45, and so there is. This isn't just like a bad race. This is a bad race. It's just like
This is the blow up we're talking about
Go to
earlier.
my
is a blow up.
My
It
Twitter.
happened.
I did tweet a photo, and I circled like where the lead pack was at the bell, and then where Kenneth was, and it's alarming. It's just like something was up, and so then he did come through in the mix zone, and they'd ask him like what happened, and you could tell he was a bit rattled because he's like, I honestly want to take a little bit of time to process that and give you guys a much more full answer as to like what exactly happened, because he said he was dealing with an SI joint like thing here and there since USA's, and then the other thing is he has some congestion issue that had popped up recently, and that was like really kind of taking an issue today. But I mean, it affected him after the first couple laps, and he was toast.
Memory serves me correct. He's had a bit of a strange year, no? Like, I feel like he's been blown out a couple of times.
Yeah.
From whether it's injuries or whatever it may be. I remember him on the circuit having
Looking
a
back.
couple of races where I remember thinking this guy might not make the US team given how hard your US trials are. So then to see him make it, I thought he's bounced back. That's his... the hard part of his season's done. Now he's going to roll into this. So I assumed something had happened again. I didn't get to see the full thing. A hard day, I guess, a blowout.
The thing that really sucks, I guess, for this is that like this is the performance that's going to sit at the top of your mind like now until next year, because and even next year is also like, again, Steeple not in the Ultimate Championship, so he's got to think about this for 2 years. There's no redeeming yourself now that the World Championships is the final thing. Like years in the previous years, like all right, you tank at the World Championships or the Olympics, you got a couple Diamond Leagues or something to rebound, and this time around it's like no, this one's gonna fester and really just bug him for a bit, but hopefully he can get it right. When I talked to him in the weeks after USA's, he explained to me just what was behind this weird season, because I was like, what was with those 5Ks you were running indoors, and like they were bad 5Ks. Like he hasn't broken 13:20.
I'm glad you sugarcoated it for him.
I think
What was going on with those 5Ks
Yeah.
indoors, if you don't mind me asking?
And he, I think, approached this season as sort of like, all right, Olympic silver medal, amazing. Like, I know I can do that. So where can we get stronger? Where can we get faster? He's like, maybe that means running faster 5Ks. He couldn't do that. Maybe that means running faster 1500s. He really couldn't. He couldn't do that either. And so sometimes, like, it's just like the steeple's your calling card. And like we've seen other people like a Courtney Frericks where it's like that's the case too. Or it's like only, I guess Courtney did end up running like a good 5K down the road, but sometimes that's just your event. Not everyone could be Evan, who ran, 332? But he did it one time also, I think. 334. He did it one time.
No, he had it faster than 334 in Portland. I think he did it
332, yeah.
Garrett Heath was right on his ass. Ran at 332 high. But it's just like the burden that comes with a performance like the Olympics.
You
right?
just start scratching your head like, how am I going to get?
Well, it's just one of these things. You get a silver medal at the Olympics, and so much pressure is now placed on you, because now it's like, okay, we see this now going to World Championships, and no matter what kind of 5Ks he's running indoors, you win. You make it through USA's, the absolute cheese grater of a meet that is, and you come here, and now we're all thinking, okay, like let's get now we're thinking medals. We want higher. We want more. Yeah. That's what we don't want silver anymore. We got a taste for silver. Now we want gold.
Yeah.
And so it's just the heavy is the crown, and when a performance like the Olympics that he puts on, now that's what we're thinking about. And so to see him fade, everybody's just like shocked about it because we're thinking about this is a guy who's going to be making moves in that last 400 of a final. And so just to not just to not make it in, he just had he wasn't even close to making it in. We don't get the full picture of their season.
Yeah.
Even it's like, oh yeah, he told me some SI stuff and some injuries popped up, and for all we know, he's just been super banged up, and the conditions were brutal, and if you're not 100% at a meet like this, you're just gonna get exposed. So it's you feel for the guy. Like, I mean, we've all been there. It's super tough, but I'm sure he'll bounce back, and these type of performances only just fuel fire for future races to come.
Yeah.
Chris is like,
Maybe the beauty for Kenneth now as well is if he has been as banged up as what's been advertised, that he does have that extended period now to get his body and his mind right, because everybody talks about it. There's always a lull after the Olympics in terms of motivation and I suppose preparation and all of those sort of things. If I'm Kenneth Rooks, I'm going back. I'm putting on the last 300 meters of the Olympic steeplechase final, listening to Lee Diffie blow the speakers off the fucking joint, saying like Kenneth Rooks is about to steal a gold medal. Like, that's who Kenneth Rooks is. That's the guy, not the one that was produced today. Like, and admittedly, you can't win them all. Not every day is going to be a good day. You're going to have a stinker here or there, whatever it is. This guy's still the reigning Olympic silver medalist. Take some time. I don't know what Kenneth Rooks does in his spare time, but do it. Get the hell away from the track. Watch that video once a week. Come back and see what you can do.
Watch the video once a week and maybe shadow Connor Mance for a little bit of base training.
Yeah, maybe a double. Maybe a double blade there.
Maybe tag along on Connor Mance long run.
It's a couple of runs.
I mean, it's the group that they've got going in Utah is, I mean,
it's
good.
And it ties in perfectly.
Heat three.
Daniel Mikalski ends up being the only American to advance. He takes third in this one behind El Bakali and Lemaitre Girma. Did Girma also fall in that heat?
For the sake of the argument, let's say yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I was like,
there's a lot of tumbles out there.
Yeah.
He might have got tumbled. Yeah.
He fell twice.
Well, I mean, like for him, it's just a scary thing given last year when he got knocked out on the track.
Oh yeah. I'm like, yeah.
I forgot that
that fall was rough.
That was scary.
Yeah.
That fall.
I mean that's a CT,
Okay, I'm hoping he did. I'm hoping he didn't fall now. I want to
fall.
Yeah.
Even the NFL got nervous watching that one.
NFL guys are watching like, oh my god, this sport is dangerous.
You should have a helmet on.
I'm like, don't put your kids in track and field. This is for sure brain damage.
Keep him away.
I'm looking. I mean, Bakali Girma, right off the bat, this is the brutal heat.
Yeah, because
and given that, Mikalski ran the entire thing from the front. Looked fantastic.
he was right on these guys.
He led the entire thing.
Yeah, and
Bakali's like, sure, this is great.
he's like, I've seen an American do this before.
Yeah.
I got him.
Yeah, he's like, who are
I'm about
you?
to wolf this guy down.
Where's the other one? He's like, are you Rupert? Are you Frederick Rupert? No, you're not. God damn, how many of y'all are there? But Mikalski he did run really well. Ran super strong. And my God, put on for the entire country.
The whole entire country's steeple hopes rest on his shoulders now.
Does he do a lot of technical training? His
so now
hurdling is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one thing that stood out to
Easily the
Rooks
best
and
technique.
Corrigan when they were all together last year. I think it was like they know that he's good.
Yeah, he's so proficient.
He's come
over
up
him.
short in the past at the U.S. Championships. That like if he fine tunes a couple things here or there, that like he's going to be good. And so now we're actually finally seeing it, because even when he ran the standard at NACAX, like honestly, it ended up being perfect training for this situation because of how hot it is here. So if he could run 8:14 in the Bahamas, he's ready for the final. And I think the thing that he said coming through the mix zone is that he's not afraid of El Bakali or Lamette Gurma, and that's
Love to
part of the
hear
reason
that.
why like he went up and was up in the front. I mean, I think the dude runs like with the Air Force too, so it's like
Oh, he's tough.
yeah. So he's a tough guy. A real feel good story. I think John Galt did a whole profile on him that it tells everything, just sort of like where this guy has been all throughout the years, because he's been in and out of just like different coaches trying to figure out what works, and no sponsor for a lot of it. So yeah, a good story going into the final. And then just in general, yeah, I mean El Bakali is the favorite in this one. He's run 8 flat. Frederick Rupert is the next fastest guy. I think the crazy finish that people can root for in this, like if you really want the stadium to erupt, it would be like El Bakali, Frederick Rupert, and the Rui Mura, like
Yeah.
all in a blanket.
He's
Well,
run
I mean,
803
we're all-
this
we're
year
all
as well.
Mora guys right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see the stadium
It's like
explode.
when I was in Paris last year, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm just hoping for any French athlete to.
Oh, well, because you get
do
sucked
it.
into it, right?
Yo,
the
it's-
whole
it's-
crowd
it
is just
really is.
electric.
Yo,
yeah,
it's
hard to
fantastic.
root
Yeah.
against them.
I had goosebumps with the 6th place finisher of the women's 10K. Like that was the
Yeah.
loudest it'd gotten.
And to be fair, this Japanese steeplechase has run 803
Yeah.
this year. So he's every possibility of if there is going to be an upset, it's not outrageous to think
No,
that
it's
it
not.
could be him. So dare to dream. I mean,
Well, for our Frederick Rupert barely got in. Did you see? Like, did you watch the he?
Yeah, he was in
He
Jordy's
He
heat.
didn't run.
how
through,
scoped
he
were you on
didn't
this guy
run
the whole way
line.
through? Yeah.
I was like,
When he's screaming from the stands.
Yeah, wait.
Run through the line!
I'm like, please.
Keep going, dude.
He was. It was. We were kind of watching the scoreboard to be like, because it really was like
Yeah.
close enough where you're like, there's a chance he didn't even get in.
He must have misread the thing, because they got rid of the little cues in the distance races, and so
I
it's
like
all
that
big
move.
cues.
Yeah.
And so
I love it.
I
I
think
like
what
that.
what is
I
it
love
in
that
the
move.
in some of the races it was like top 6. This one was top 5.
Yeah.
So maybe he was just like, was it top 5 or top 6, and just
That's not the
misremembered.
mental math you're going to be playing in the last
No,
50
so,
minutes.
I mean, like,
Just run through the line. You're right. The line's there.
get there.
Like,
Frederick Rupert 827.83. The 6th place guy who didn't make it through, Mohamed Amin Jinawi from Tunisia, 827.89. So by 0.06 seconds.
That's nothing.
it really was nothing. It was one of those things that when you're in the stands, you're like, it could be.
He might have missed.
You wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't be surprised
Yeah.
if you missed out.
Yeah. All right. So that's the steeple. The final takes place on, I don't have the schedule in front of me.
Day after tomorrow.
Day after
Yeah,
tomorrow.
they'd
They
have
get
a
one
day
more day.
off.
Yeah, they got the day off and then the final.
All right. We'll touch on the women's 1500 heats that took place. So there were 4 of them. This one, top 6 in each heat, qualified to the semifinal. First one, not too many shockers. Jess Hall, Sinclair Johnson, very controlled race running from the front. Cool part, Nozomi Tanaka going up there with them for a bit. The one thing you'll notice in the 1500s, if you go back and rewatch them, and then even in like the 10K, is that there must have been just like, it's a pride thing, and I think like a tradition thing in Japan, for it's like you go to the front of the race and like you soak in that moment, and like the crowd goes absolutely nuts. Like it's short lived. Like Nozomi Tanaka ended up finishing 10th in this one and doesn't advance, but still, you're like, she's a hero to these people. You get on the subway and like she's on the walls, like in the I noticed this thing. She was on the walls in like the Japan Federation was advertising all throughout the city. And then you go to Shibuya Crossing, and then she's on like the New Balance billboard that's been propped up there. So it's like she's getting maximum exposure over the next 10 days. And I think she's doubling 15 5K. For a second, I was like, she could triple 8, 15, 5K or 10K. Like it wouldn't put me past. I wouldn't put it past her, because she just loves racing. But yeah, Jess, Sinclair, Gaia Sabatini, Dorcas Ewoy, and Marta Perez and Werwanika Lizakowska from Poland are your 6 from Heat 1. Heat 2, This one was actually kind of crazy. Nelly Chip Cheer Cheer. Well, first off, it had like 5 people with Oregon Duck like connections in it because you had Kazmierska, Shalana Yildiz, you had Wilma Nielsen. Bobo drew up the heat sheet for this one. So Nelly Chip Cheer Cheer takes the win here. Kind of expected, easy. Kazmierska takes second. And then from there, it was kind of crazy. Emily Mackay had like a crazy hard surge just before the bell lap because she was caught up in some traffic. And if you watch the replay, you could see that she was getting very, very frustrated with the person around her. And so she had to kind of react to that pretty swiftly and maybe didn't look her best, but it's round 1. Like you get these mistakes out of the way here. So that was...
Well, these opening rounds are also historically aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now without small cues, they're even more aggressive because there is no reality outside of being in the top 6 where you make it to the next round.
Yeah.
So it's not even like you can rest back and go, well, maybe we ran a quick heat. It's like, no, you need to fight and claw and scratch your way to being in the top 6. So there's outside of staying out of trouble somehow and running wide or leading or whatever, you are going to be in a little bit of a fight, I think, in that pack to find your spot. So frustration's only natural, I think, now that there's no small cues.
Yeah.
She'd be so relieved just to be able to make it through. So not a perfect race execution, but also not what you would be doing come finals time anyway.
You brush
would
it off
think.
now.
Yeah, you're through. You're
It
through
doesn't
to that
matter.
next
Yeah,
round.
like
It's
soon
over.
as soon as you make it, it's like race is done. You you're made it through. You're on to the next.
Yeah,
It's like, okay,
put it behind you.
Yes, like learn from it and be like, I could have done this differently. Could have not been boxed at this particular point in the race, but it's like, okay, got the qualifier, so it's on to the next one. The 15s, like as far as like today goes, it's like everyone who should have made it through made it through. Right?
Yeah.
Like the heats, in my opinion, felt like they were separated very evenly.
Mm-hmm.
There was no heats that I felt like were super stacked, and it's like, man, it's going to be very tough to make it out of this heat. Kind of thought they were all divvied up like appropriately.
Yeah.
And there was like 2 or 3 like of the main players in each heat, and it's like, okay, they all made it through. And yes, you got like races like the second heat, but on paper, you're just like, if you're just like looking at each heat and seeing who made it through, you'd be like, well, yeah, I could have exactly, like there was no major shakeups in this.
All right, then, yeah, Heat 3, Ferroni Hailu wins it. 4:01, that's the fastest time of the day. Nikki right behind Hailu. Yeah, Gabriella Debut Stafford, she's back, she's in it. The fun one in this thing was just like, it was 6 or 7 women with the 100 meters to go were all in it. Sophie O'Sullivan was the one who she threw herself at the finish line to get that final spot.
Yeah.
And she beat Esther Guerrero, who's very good from Spain for it.
Well, you remember Budapest, Soph missed the
Yes.
final,
Yeah.
but she ran an Olympic standard.
Yeah.
So it was like this duality of the new rules of no small cues, because the small cues being that she would have made it. And I remember talking to her after in Budapest, and although frustrated, she's like, well, without the big queue only, I wouldn't have run that fast. I wouldn't have got the Olympic standard. So there's a double, but you could tell that there was a ferocity in the final 50 to be like, I'm not going to be the first one out again. And to your point of how close it was earlier, I think it was like, what, 0.02 or, something minuscule.
Yeah,
and they were, she was lane, when you see the photo, she's in lane 4 and the Spaniards on the rail. So it's not even like they were next to each other. This was just a all out throw at the stumps, see what happens, and got through. Had a good year in the NCAA this year as well, obviously, as the champ. So good to see her get through.
Yeah, I recommend people go back and rewatch this one because it was the French woman too, Agathe Guillemot from the European indoor champ. Like she was the one who was in Sophie's way down that final 100 meters, and Sophie needed to do like a Cole Hawker-esque sort of like weird pivot to get past, and like super chaotic. But Sophie O'Sullivan loves to bring the drama. Yeah.
Yep, honorary Australian. Good to see Soph do well.
All right, final heat of this one. Faith Kipyegon doing Faith Kipyegon things. 4:02 for the win. And then only shocker here is Laura Muir fading and not advancing. She ends up 8th in this one. Kind of like she was starting to really turn the corner, I would say, in terms of her performances, but won't make it out of the heats this time out. So
I heard a reporter say that, and I could be wrong here, but it was something like the first time in 10 championships she hasn't made it out.
Of the heats?
Yeah, to the next round.
Yeah, I mean,
Something
she's been
along
in it for
those
so
lines.
long.
Yeah, and she was so good, so young, and has been good for a long time. But I just found that fascinating. 10 years to get out of the rounds.
Is it time for her to move to the 5K?
I mean, it's a hard event.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like go to the.
like,
We
oh,
just
now-
called it the greatest race
yeah,
in the
yeah.
championship. It's like, why don't you make it harder?
I'm like, why don't you
Why
race
don't you
Faith
get up there?
Kipyegon and Beatrice in the
Yeah,
five?
see how you go.
Yeah,
You know, the 1500 heats. You're gonna love this. Yeah.
Bro, what? She's like, that's got to be some of the worst advice I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, actually, now's not the time. Maybe 3
She
years
was also
ago.
super. It was really. I can't. I'm trying to remember the point in which she faded, but she was in perfect position.
Yeah, it was, I think, 150 to go.
150 to go. It's just the wheels fell off, and she couldn't hang on. But she is someone who always is like, she was just known for running unbelievably ballsy.
Yeah.
all
Peak Laura
out.
Muir was just
Yeah.
cinema. Athletics.
So it's tough to see her go out, but I mean, that's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
That's
Just
the sport.
that's the
Yeah.
sport.
All right, so in the semifinal, it'll be just the first 6 of each heat qualified to the final. And actually, I'm looking at it right now.
Did all Americans get through?
The semifinal heat sheets are up.
Semis
Oh, they
already
are?
up.
Oh, so we get to react to this in real time.
Yeah.
All right,
Wow, we get no complaints for these guys.
Yeah.
semifinals: Marta Perez, Gaia Sabatini. This is I'm not gonna read all the names. Heat 1 has Sinclair Johnson, Faith Kipyegon, Sophie O'Sullivan, Ferweni Hailu, Emily Mackay, Lyndon Hall, Dorcas Ewoy. And you're telling me
Faith.
6 go? 1, 2, 3,
That's a
4, 5,
tough
6.
heat.
damn
Wow.
good semifinal.
I already counted
6 and 6?
6. And then all right, Heat 2 is the notables in Heat 2: Susan Ajore, Jess Hall, Nelly Chipchurcher, Nikki Hiltz, Gabriella Stafford, Sarah Healy, Claudia Kazmierska. Oh man.
It's going to be good racing.
Yeah, this is, I would say they're even.
I think Heat 1's a bit better.
Like more challenging. If you don't like, you'd rather be in Heat 2.
I think I'd rather be in Heat 2.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, it's not by much, and this is also with me like barely thinking about it, right? Like,
No, but I like a snapshot,
this
just a
is
straight off the gun
this is
reaction.
a true.
Yeah.
This is just a genuine gut reaction of me
Yeah.
listening 50%, and
I like the gut check.
I'm like, no, Heat 1's
You sure it wasn't just Faith? And you're like,
yeah.
no, I don't want to be in that one.
it could-
Pass.
It could be just like all the strong people in Heat 2. I'm like, when she was faded, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be in that.
Pass.
Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's tough to make it out of. It's going to be incredibly hard to make it out of these heats. I wonder if it's going to be fat. If it's going to be the same. Because I wonder if these no small cues changes. And I mean, like even with Paris, there's the repechage round, so it's not quite the same. But it's like, is it still going to be like the same tactics? It's still going to be these 4-0 races, or are you going to see like?
I think
faster
tomorrow we
race?
start to see the 357s.
Yeah, I just feel like the no small cues would add a heightened anxiety,
I just
and
think that
particularly for kickers.
the no small cue,
I'd
like,
just
it
be
makes
nervous at
sense.
the back.
It makes sense.
It's
to
a
not
great
have
system.
Small cues.
Yeah, it's a great system.
Like the more I see about, I'm like, why were there ever small cues?
I just used to hate the system where you get rewarded for being in the last
Exactly.
heat,
It's
and it'd
it's
be
random.
like a conversation clearly goes down where it's like, all right, let's all just get on the train. Someone just lead it out, and let's just get as many people through here as well. And if I was in the first heat, I'd be frustrated because I'd be like, well, yeah, I probably would have
I
run
got
it
a
very
PR.
differently and tried. You know what I mean? So I like this.
You
It's
just get
honest racing.
screwed randomly by being in the
Every
in the first
race,
heat, yeah.
honest racing. Go get it. I like it.
All right, women's semifinal will be tomorrow, or if you're watching on the East Coast, 8:05 a.m. on September 14th. So mark that on your calendars. That does it for the distance races. Thanks, guys, for chatting with me.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Chris.
Let's bring on Anderson and we'll talk some sprints. But in the meantime, Mac, you want to roll a quick word from our presenting sponsor, A6. All right, we are back, and I'm joined now by Anderson Emerole and Paul Hof-Mahoney, who are holding it down in the mix zone today. And we're going to get into some sprints and jumps and throws action that took place today. Let's start with some 100-meter action.
Yeah.
Lots of, not too many surprises, I would say, in general. Melissa Jefferson wins Heat 1, 10:99, looked great. Cruise control. Heat 2, Tina Clayton and Dina Asher-Smith, they were 1-2, looked strong. Heat 3, Sha'Carri Richardson with her best showing so far of the year.
So I would say we can maybe even circle back to Melissa in a second, but just on Sha'Carri, this was definitely her best showing of the year.
Yeah.
By far, where we had seen her run like 11:4 and 11:1, and then most recently like 11:05 or something like that. And there was even questions on like, okay, can Sha'Carri make the final, or will she progress through the rounds? Obviously, she had the wild card, so she's a defending champ. She didn't have to compete at USA's outside of like one round or the 100 or whatever, but she showed up here. Now, she didn't have like a good start, you know, which she's notorious for, unfortunately, but like she had a great kind of second half of the race, and she was going up against Shericka Jackson, who's no slouch at all, who ran 11:04, so who did well. But I think this was a good showing for Sha'Carri.
The interesting thing with Sha'Carri is just how, like, I guess our standard has changed for her this year, because like we had, like, she didn't come out guns a-blazing throughout the season, and sort of, and when it starts off at 11:04, it's like we're just making progress, and progress is a good thing with her. And then this time around, I mean, she's still not under 11 going into the semifinals.
Which is crazy. It's like she's the defending world champion. She's run 10:65, like literally one of the fastest in history, and it's like, I'm like, yeah, 11:03 is a good performance. But
let's go back to Melissa.
I was gonna say Melissa. Obviously, Melissa has been dominating. Like, you can argue she's been the quote unquote breakout athlete of 2025, maybe across any sport. I'm sorry, any event. But 10:99, she didn't even have like the blazing start that she's got in other races. But 10:99, super comfortable, controlled the race. Like, Melissa looks like she's ready to win a gold medal. And she kind of walked through the mix zone and was like, just eyes focused, going through. She didn't stop or anything like that. I think she knows, all right, I need to get this gold medal. And she has a double ahead of her as well.
Yeah. So, and then the relay.
And she got the relay. So,
she had a busy 10 days.
And yeah, last year, I mean, how many people really knew Melissa? You know, obviously she got a bronze medal, but it's not like her profile wasn't where it's at now. And I think she needs to really lock in and execute.
I thought that she made this first round look so easy that, like, I think the meet really starts for her tomorrow. Well, it obviously does, because the final will be tomorrow.
Final.
But she's locked in right now, and I like what I saw today. Jamaica did win the second heat. Tina Clayton.
Yeah.
Feel good story there. She's running for her sister.
I know. She was like all about her sister. Shout out to Tina. She was one of the few athletes who did stop to chat.
Post 100, yeah.
Post 100, yeah. All these 100-meter women were like locked in. But yeah, she's running for her sister. Her sister Tia made the Olympic final last year, was injured at trials this year, so now couldn't compete. So Tina, she's holding things down. And, you know, I think along with, you know, some of the other women we'll mention, like, she's in the medal hunt. You know, Dina Asher-Smith was second in that heat with 11:07. Shout out to Iwa Swoboda, who's always kind of in the conversation.
She made it.
Yeah, I know. Qualified through. So yeah. But there were some good showings in there.
Heat 5, Daryl Nita, TT Terry.
Well, even circling back, Heat 4 was Julian Alfred.
Oh yeah.
And she had the fastest qualifying time of 10:93. Now,
which looked faster, like
Julian looked like she was cruising.
They handed her like a softball of a heat here, because like second place is 11:20. I guess that's what made it look like kind of
maybe crazy. The gap was crazy. But I think that Melissa, knowing that Melissa, I think most people have Melissa as a favorite, but Melissa in her mind knows, like, all right, Julian's the Olympic champion.
Yeah.
And sure, I've beat Julian before at Prefontaine. Sure, I have run 10:06. I have, you know, the fastest times in the world this year. But like, Julian can still potentially clip me if I'm slacking in any way. So I think Julian is coming for Melissa. And Julian's like, yeah, she's the Olympic champion, and she doesn't want to lose that kind of like quote unquote title. So yeah, this was this is gearing up. It's only the heats, but gearing up for a good matchup.
All right, Daryl, Nina, TT, Terry, just good progress throughout the rounds.
Yeah, I'll shout out Daryl Nita. She 10.94 season's best for her. TT Terry on the US side. So she only got, because Aaliyah Hobbs originally had finished third
Yes,
at
that's
USA's. Right. She pulled out due to injury like a day or two before
declarations were due.
It was like Aaliyah and Gabby kind of pulled out at the same time. So TT Terry, she was already in the relay pool, so she was coming to Tokyo, but she got the call for the 100 specifically, again, just like 2 days before she had to leave. And she was giving so much praise to Aaliyah Hobbs because we've spoken to Aaliyah, we've heard her story so many times where she's dealt with so many injuries throughout her career, and she just hasn't really had the opportunity to show up at a global championships because of those injuries. So TT Terry was really like, it's great that she gets to compete here herself, but she kind of wishes that Aaliyah got her chance to be on the stage. So that was a good interview for people to kind of check out.
Cool. And then Heat 6, Zainab Dasso from Italy, Amy Hunt, Kayla White. Those are your top 3.
Yeah, shout out to Kayla, not maybe performing like she did at USA's, but she qualifies through, so that's at least a good sign for her.
The script writers wanted Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce to close out the first round of the 100, and we had a sweet moment. Marie-Josée Talou Smith and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce embraced right after this race. 2 vets of the game. Both make it through and on to the semifinals.
Yeah, man.
I think
perfect picture on the screen right now.
Yeah,
it's like beautiful.
Yeah, I think Shelly is in a great mental headspace. It feels like.
Yeah, I feel like she just realizes like this is it for me. I've had like such an amazing career. Like I've had so much success. I think she's literally the GOAT of the 100 meters. Like Usain Bolt even thinks like Shelly is like equal to him. So she's had such a long career, and I think she realized like, hey, let me go out, have fun, execute my race. Like obviously, I think she does want to get on the podium and all that, but it's like this is her final championships of her entire career.
Her Instagram post, she wrote 18 years, 275 races, 120 wins, 22 titles, and it all leads to this.
And that's crazy.
That's hard.
Someone needs to calculate like how many miles she's run like in all her 100 meter and 200 meter races and all that. Like,
I wonder if these 275 races that she mentions, probably not all hundreds.
It has to be mixed. 275 is crazy.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of hundreds. It's not like, well, Asafa Powell got to what, 93?
He has 97 sub 10 100 meters.
And then he couldn't get 3. He'd get 3 more.
It was over at that point.
That reminds me of like, I've seen baseball players that have finished their careers at like 399 home runs. And it's like,
that's like so disrespectful. Like,
and that sucks too, because it's like people start talking about you in the Hall of Fame conversation, like you're guaranteed Hall of Famer, 500 home runs and beyond. And 400, you can really start to make the case. 300, not so much. So to end up at 399,
you're not. It's just like
you're right on the cusp.
My gosh. But Shelly has like, she has an infinite amount of accolades. It's just so crazy. So to see this moment, and with like Talou also, like both of them are in their mid 30s. Shelly's in her late 30s and she's running 11 flat. I think she's going to be in the final. I don't know.
You think Shelly's going to make the final?
I think she'll make the final.
Okay, well, it's time to live react to some semifinal heats. Have you seen these yet?
Oh, snap. I haven't.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to break it to you. All right, Heat 1 features, I'll just rattle off the notables. Kayla White.
Okay.
Marie-Josée Talou Smith.
Okay.
Daryl Nita. Sha'Carri Richardson. Sharika Jackson. And it's first 2 in each heat plus the next 2 fastest.
So we just saw Sharika and Sha'Carri run together.
So let's run that back.
You have Daryl Nita ran faster than both of them in the heat. She ran sub 10. I'm sorry, sub 11.
Mm-hmm.
Marie-Josée Talou Smith, she won her heat. She's run fast this year. Kayla White, second place at USA's 10.8. This is stacked. Like, what the hell?
All right, so think on it, because you'll have to pick it'll help you think about where the time qualifiers will come out of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so Heat 2 features Zoe Hobbs, Julian Alfred, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, TT Terry, Amy Hunt, Awa Sabota.
How
and a couple others. I guess. All right, so in this one, you presume Julian Alfred, but then you start to
It gets
think like,
tricky.
does TT knock out Shelly-Ann? Oh man, Twitter will love that. Does Amy Hunt knock out Shelly-Ann?
Oh my gosh.
Does Zoe Hobbs knock out
I know you're always
Shelly-Ann?
rooting for Zoe Hobbs, but I don't know. No, but it could be. This is interesting. I think obviously this is a little bit easier than the first semi, but okay, now I see why.
Yeah, Julian's getting an easy path to the final.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Now, but okay, now I see why there's the hesitation on Shelly making the final.
Okay.
What's the
Heat 3, Gina Lukenkemper, Dean Asher Smith, Tina Clayton, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, Zainab Dasso, Tori Lewis, Audrey LeDuc, Delma Davies.
Okay, so it's not too bad. Melissa, I think obviously Melissa has a smooth path for the final here as well. There'd be an interesting dynamics. Tina Clayton, Dean
Versus
Asher
Dean
Smith.
Asher Smith.
This is kind of wild. Okay, this is kind of crazy in terms of like you have so many names, and I'm not sure. I mean, somebody can look it up at some point, but it's like in the past, I don't feel like we've seen so many heavy hitters in the sense of in each of the semifinals. But
Yeah.
one of the problems is that Melissa and Julian have been so far ahead of the rest of the field. It's really been Melissa Gold, Julian Silver on paper, and then figure out who you want for bronze, which makes it like just seems so stacked. Sha'Carri just hasn't been running like Sha'Carri. Sharika hasn't been running like Sharika. So them being in the same heat kind of like makes it seem so stacked, but it's crazy.
Okay, so now all things considered, I think the time qualifiers will come out of the first heat, and I see a likely scenario where Shelly-Ann makes it through.
Yeah, it'll be tough.
tight.
I mean, I think Dina could be a time qualifier out of that third semi.
Oh yeah, you're
And
right.
then that would take up another spot. So
She could.
It's gonna be this.
This
Hey,
will be
this is why
stacked.
they run these races like that. This will be fun.
Hey.
Fun to watch.
Hundreds were good.
All right, that was the women's 100. Let's go over to the men's 100.
This was
No,
also-
no big surprises, but
Yeah.
some weird things happened. Okay, first heat, Oblique Seville fell asleep in
Literally.
the blocks.
0.286 reaction time. Like literally, he like just didn't hear the gun. I don't even know what's going on.
I'd have to go back to like the morning session when he had all the small countries running their guys and see if Oblique had the worst reaction time of the whole entire day.
He might have.
He might have. Like, did the sprinter from Palau react faster to the gun than Oblique Seville today?
Like what? It was crazy. I mean, Paul, you spoke to Oblique, right?
not
he didn't
really.
speak.
Oh, well, I was saying, wait.
He mumbled
He
a little
mumbled.
bit, and I tried to. I was gonna ask him like, I don't know if maybe it was like intentionally just because he wanted to avoid a fast start, but or a false start, but knew he could make it through anyway. And
No, so
all he said was just the semi is gonna be better. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. And I'm like, okay.
So I haven't watched the NBC broadcasts to know if Lewis Johnson spoke with Oblique, but there was someone said something in the mix zone and that about Oblique said he was dealing with something, but then didn't want to say what it was, and it could sound like he needed to go to the bathroom. And then no, like I'm not even kidding, because like Noah was asked about it, and then Noah said, like, oh yeah, I knew that was gonna happen.
Wait. Noah was asked about Oblique.
Yes, Noah was asked about Oblique.
Noah said that man was panicking in the back.
Play the clip into your mic so that people can hear it, Paul, and rewind to the front end of it.
So strange.
Yeah. I don't know if people.
Uh-oh.
Phone's connected.
Might be.
All right.
This is such a strange situation.
Okay.
Did you by chance see Oblique Seville with the slow reaction time and he won? Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. That man was panicking in the back. Yeah. But hey, he's a gamer, so hopefully he'll get it back and, we'll have a great final. All right. We'll see you back out in the semi. Thank you.
Okay.
I think it's a bathroom issue.
Wait, okay. This makes it seem like Noah is just like playing games with his competition. I don't know. It sounds
That's
like
what Twitter's talking about right now.
yeah, I feel like Noah in that makes it seem like I feel like Noah's just like, listen, these guys are on their head. Like they maybe were underestimating me this year. Like the way he said it, it's just like he's playing it because Noah had a good race.
He
Like,
did.
and
He was
I think he was just hype. He's like, oh, these guys, you know. That's what I think.
You think? Oh, Mac things like forgotten spikes from the bus ride, something along those lines. To me, it sounded like a bathroom issue. Like you really had to go.
Something clearly was up because he was left in the blocks. It was like I don't know, something happened.
Okay, so he makes it through, clutched up, managed to make it through by taking the third place spot. Forget this performance oblique and get back to. I mean, I'm still obsessed with his 110 that he ran. Like that clip. That convinced me that he's gonna win gold.
Am I like, or I don't know. I feel like every single championships, like
you get your hopes up.
Well, you get your hopes up, or you'll see these clips posted on Twitter of like athletes doing block starts, athletes doing 60 meters, 100 meters, 110s, and it's like that athlete's winning gold, or that athlete is like it's like, bro, we've seen this grainy footage from someone recording in the practice track. I mean, I don't know.
And then someone does a hand time of it, and they're like, "Look what I got for that." And then you'll see some Twitter coach just like screenshotting, like, "Look at Noah's form in this thing," and it's like, that's 2 pixels of a picture.
Like, what? I will say before we. Before you mentioned, like the fact that he got such a poor start and still ran 9.93 proves that he's clearly in some good form. Like he would have run 9.8. He probably would have won this heat, which was 1 in 9.87. So shout out to Oblique in terms of hopefully he gets it right through the next couple rounds.
Yeah. So the South African dude who won, you spoke to him. What's his deal?
So shout out to GIF. I can't pronounce his last name. It's I don't know the language, but South Africa, he has a click sound.
There's a click in it.
He has a click in it. Yeah. So shout out to GIF. I'm gonna do that because I don't want to mispronounce. But he's not rising. He's like 26 years old, but he's been dealing with injuries over the past couple of years. But he just comes here. He runs 9.87 to win the heat. Sets a personal best. I think prior to this, he had run like 9.94 or 5 or something along those lines. But he was like, he wasn't even like super amped up. He was just like, I didn't expect to run this fast, but like, yeah, I was confident about being able to, put a performance down like this.
When I watched this, my first instinct was, okay, so if we can get the baton around, then maybe we have a chance in the 4x1. But I'm looking at South Africa now with through a different lens.
What's crazy is he wasn't even on South Africa's 4x1 last year.
Really?
He wasn't, and I actually don't even know if he ran at World Relay. So he's a guy. He's like in this convo. He trains with Bayonda Walaza, who is kind of the young rising talent, the U20 double 100, 200 champion from last year.
He's not here because he's hurt.
He's hurt. So
damn, that sucks.
Yeah. So this is a guy who probably make the final, maybe could surprise, but yeah, shout out to GIF. Really strong performance.
Okay, second heat, Kishane Thompson runs 9.95. I thought this was a 9.8. The way it looked.
That's why I don't know, journalistic integrity. I was in the mix zone. I kind of like let out a little like, whew, because I saw it looked like super, super fast, but he didn't have a great heat to contend with where the next guys ran 10.19. But Kishane does this thing where he'll get out extremely fast, and then when there's no one around, he was looking around, looks super comfortable. But the problem with Kishane is that second half, when he has competition ahead of or next to him, when he has guys who are pushing him, that's where it's like, all right, can you do this same thing through the rounds? Can you actually run 9.8s, 9.7s? Probably is what it will take to win through the rounds and when we get to the final, because it's not going to be easy, right? This is not going to be the field that you have.
When he told us at pre, I'm working on something, still haven't seen it. He says, you'll know when you see it. I was like, I didn't see it today. So
I don't know yet.
Well, I don't know yet. Okay. Heat 3. This is Noah's heat, 9.95. He beats Akeem Blake. Noah, you could we're in the mix zone waiting for him. and you could hear him from like down the hall,
Literally,
because
it's crazy.
he's just going nuts because he's walking around. He's got Jay Holder holding like if you took like your loved one on a shopping spree.
I know.
Jay Holder's holding like 20 bags for Noah because all the Japanese media is giving him gifts, and Noah's on 10 because of the whole thing. He shows up in front of us. He's like, I'm gonna make one stop, answer your guys' questions, and inevitably people are asking him questions about like his playlist, like if he's gone shopping, if he did karaoke was one of the questions. I'm like, come on, Anderson. Like Anderson asks about the race, John Galt asks about the race, and then we get sprinkled in a question about like anime and stuff.
Yeah, like all these things.
Save that for the content creators.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that there is one here. Yeah. So, but and the funny thing about Noah is like Noah's going off and he's like, oh, he's like, this is my ADHD kicking in right now, and like you could see that he's like having a good time. And I think for him, and Mac brought this up, is that Noah is feeding off the energy of this place right now because like, and he brought this up the last time he was in the city and on this track. His thoughts were so loud, and like that's what he got in his own head, and he was not in a great mental health space.
Exactly.
At that point, I would love to know, like, you know how we always make it, like Mac, we make fun of just how, you're about to run a marathon, you should stay off your feet. Like the top marathoners, like don't go to the expo and all these panels and all these kind of stuff. Noah's shopping maybe up until an hour before this meet starts. It feels like there hasn't been an Instagram story that I've seen where he's not in the background of like, oh, there's Rai Benjamin clothing shopping, and if you look in the mirror in the back, Noah's there. Oh, there's this other athlete comic book shopping. Oh, Noah's checking out too. Like Jakob Ingebrigtsen posted a video buying Pokemon cards. Wouldn't shock me if Noah Lyles is in line in front of him at that same store. So that's alleviating, I think, the pressure that comes with like, oh, you're the Olympic champion, you're the reigning world champion, when it's like you've got people giving you gifts after you ran 995.
He literally pulled out the whatever.
Yeah, someone made a 1-of-1 custom painting for him.
And I thought it was really funny because when he was talking about the painting, he was specifying like, this isn't one of my favorite animes, but it's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
And it's like the guy who like made the anime or the manga or whatever, like specifically made this for him. He's like, this is not one of my favorite animes, but I do like it
Oh
too.
my God.
So you know what's gonna happen is you're gonna have like Japanese media is gonna get him like his favorite anime. Like Jay Holder is gonna have to hire another person to come like handle all the bags that he's gonna walk away from this whole thing from.
Yeah. I will just to shout out Noah on this race, and like to what you said about especially Tokyo, where he wasn't in a good mental space, and it was like he was just like too much in his thoughts. Like Tokyo 2020, the Olympics was literally empty. Like,
yeah.
Not only was it tough for him mentally, but then literally he can only be in his thoughts. So having the opportunity to like just embrace all of Japan and all of Tokyo now, I think that's going to play into his favor as we go through the rounds. We already know he is like the championship performer. He knows how to show up when it counts the most. And yeah, I think I liked Noah. I really did like Noah's heat here.
No, yeah. For as many times throughout the year when like Noah will say something and like irk me for like maybe 24 hours or something like that, it's moments like this where I'm like, all right.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
He's cool. All right. Let's cruise through the next couple of heats. Kenny Bednarik, 10:01. I mean, all business.
Yeah.
Not much to say there.
Nothing too crazy.
Heat 5. Letsila Tebogo makes it through over Andre DeGrasse, Courtney Lindsay. Those three guys are your top three.
Yeah.
Funny moment in the mix zone is Letsila Tebogo is walking through. No one is stopping him. Anderson makes an attempt. And then the press officer, I think, just like kind of said like not today, so he'll answer questions tomorrow. And Tebogo just like winks and like smiles at Anderson, and it's like, you dog, like
so ridiculous.
He's such a troll. He's such a troll, but in the best way.
In the best ways. It's like, it's almost like, I feel like Letsile's personality is maybe not polar opposite, but him and Noah are very distinct in terms of them. But Letsile is a certified troll in like deep down inside of him. Like it's so crazy.
He makes it through. I mean, part of the whole thing is like you and I were watching this race, you know, in the mix zone, and I just turned to you. I'm like, I can't believe he's doing this. Like he should just be all in on the 200. And then he does follow CITIUS, and I think he's seen some of our stuff that like he probably catches on to our shitty comments here and there, and like that's why I think he's just like laughing us off. He's like, I don't need to talk to you guys today.
Let me show you guys. Yeah.
Next heat, Israel Okan from Nigeria wins over Zarnell Hughes. Oh, this was the weird one. T-Mars McCallum, reaction time of 0.009. So you had the Devin Allen.
Literally the Devin Allen, and it was so weird because he had essentially the worst reaction time that you can get, right? Where it was
before it's an offense, before it's a DQ.
Yeah. So technically, it was supposed to be a DQ. Like he technically false started, but they gave him the green card after whatever I don't know whatever deliberation, because Devin Allen in 2022 he got DQ'd for like this exact same thing. You know, that whole situation in Eugene, but they give him a green card, and like I'm not complaining, like it's great. I'm happy that T-Mars ran. It's just, I guess it was weird.
It was weird, and like if you're Devin Allen watching that thing, you're just like, what the hell?
like what are we doing?
I know for a fact Devin Allen is on his way here to Tokyo because he responded to my Instagram story about watch shopping, and he's gonna have to have a word with these officials and be like, I'd like to rerun the 2022 World Championships.
Well, when is
right
he
now
showing up? Like, is it in time for the 110s? Like,
Oh,
give him
yeah,
an extra
yeah.
spot or something. Like,
yeah, he'll have his own heat, except like it'll just be 2022 themed. Like, he's retroactively running for those results.
Right.
And then final heat was Akani Simbine. Again, just kind of furthering the point of South Africa is going to be a problem in the 4x1.
Yeah.
Omanyala, haven't seen his name in a bit, but he made it through.
Yeah, he didn't have his normal 9-7 in the middle of the year in Kenya, so I don't know. I don't know.
Omanyala is hearing the news that Kenya's bidding for the 2029 or 2031 World Championships. He goes, hell yes. He's like, that's the year I'm breaking Bolt's record, like at the World Championships.
And I don't even know how old he'll be at that point. Like,
yeah, he might be like the Yoshihide Kuryu. I saw that guy running. I was like, man, I remember when he was like the top Japanese guy in 2013, 14 or something like that. I'm like, he's still going, and
crazy.
Crowd loves him. He's on billboards here and everything. So, all right, that is the individual sprints action. What do we want to say about the mixed 4x4? Because like it's kind of just like a foregone conclusion that the United States should win this thing. They did.
Yeah.
Gold medal, Bryce Edmond, Lena Irby Jackson, Genoa McKeever.
Oh, McKeever.
It is
my gosh.
McKeever.
I apologize.
Alexis Holmes.
I interviewed him and I definitely said McIver, but he responded. But shout out to you, Genova. I apologize.
And they tied the championship record. They beat the Netherlands. One tiny thing I will pick up: Femke Bol ran. I like that. Let's tire those legs for Dalila.
She split 50 flat. Like she's not tired. That didn't do anything.
Well, but okay, does that mean she's not tired, or does that mean that something's up? Because she usually splits like 48.
Look at us trying to make the 400 hurdles women a little bit more interesting.
Dalila would have split 48.5 if she was in this race.
Probably. But we need Dalila to be fresh. Netherlands takes silver. Belgium takes bronze.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I'm out on the mixed 4x4. I've never been in on it.
I don't know. I don't know why we run this, and at some point they're going to be adding the mixed 4x1. Like, I don't know. It's and shout out to.
I mean, kudos to the athletes who got these medals.
Compete, but it's just like, I don't know. Unfortunately, it's at literally the very first day. It's, you know, none of the major athletes who are competing individually in the open events. So it makes it hard to kind of be like, all right, this is something we have to look forward to.
Did they use the same for morning and evening?
They did the same for. They even said that. Lena was saying that after USA's, like they even knew exactly this was going to be the team for the mixed 4x4. So
Congrats to
gold
them.
medal.
All right, let's close this out, Paul, with shot put. The guy sitting next to me was saying, like, in the press tribune, was like, this is like Doha 2019 all over again. Like, was it as thrilling?
Competitive wise, yes.
Okay.
I mean, Doha 2019 was kind of the dam that broke all of the insanity we've seen in the shot for the last 5 years, because that was where you had Joe go 22.91, and then Ryan and Tom Walsh both went 22.90, which were the furthest throws in like 25 years at that point. This one, I really appreciate this competition because it showed us, again, how exciting shot put can be, even when the marks aren't anything huge. Like, we've become so desensitized to 22-meter throws in the last couple
Welcome
years.
to distance running, buddy. Like, this is what it's like.
We've become so desensitized to 22-meter throws the last couple years that, like, Ryan was the only guy over 22, and this was an insanely fun competition. Because coming in, you had Ryan Krauser, who has had a bum elbow all year. It's like one of his joint capsules got messed up after the Olympics last year. And so he's basically, whenever he would try throwing, like, his bones would just be like grinding together, essentially.
Sounds like my knee.
And well, that means you need to pull a Krauser and you need to do the media 800s.
I might have to. I will say I entered the race. We'll see what happens. That's not my doctors don't want to hear that.
But yeah, I mean, Ryan had so many. He was even for himself, he was a complete unknown coming into this one. Hadn't competed at all this year before qualifying this morning. He said, I talked to him afterwards, and basically his throwing regimen, these were the first hard throws he's taken since last September. And he said he's basically been doing, like, he's only been able to do 6 throws a day, like every other day, basically, for the last several months. So, I mean, this is really, he's done a lot of insane stuff the last couple years with the blood clots in Budapest, almost doesn't make the flight over, and then produces the second best mark of all time. Last year, opens the season at trials with a less severe version of this elbow injury, wins the U.S. title, wins Olympic gold.
Yeah.
And now he just continues to overcome these insane odds every year. And he's so good. And I love Ryan Krauser so much. I will say I had him taking bronze in my official predictions.
Whoa.
Well, you also had Peyton Otterdahl winning.
I did. I had Peyton winning. I did not realize Peyton messed up his elbow between Zurich and now. So he went out in qualifying today, which was pretty sad. But
so if you would have had the chance to redo your predictions after this morning, what would you have gone with?
I think I would have put Krauser in gold, just because the thing that he does better than anyone else in the world is in the qualifying round, he will get the auto cue mark by like no more than 5 centimeters every year, because he's just that dialed in. He knows exactly what it feels like to throw exactly how far he needs to. And so this morning, I think
I'd love to challenge that theory.
I think the auto cue was 21.35. He threw 21.37 on his first throw, made it in, and then just pulled 22.34. He had
So let's just dial this into the 5th and 6th round of the throws.
This was ridiculous.
That's where it got insane.
So Ryan hit his 22.34 in the 5th round. He was already in the lead, but that really kind of sealed the deal. And then in round 5, you had back-to-back. First, it was Tom Walsh, went 21.94. Great story for him, because that put him back into, he was in silver, and, you know, he's one of the best shot players ever. Yeah, because last year in the Olympic final, he tore his adductor, like on the first throw, and had to drop out. Leo Fabry answers him, goes 21.94 on the dot. Leo was ahead on countback. And then in round 6, this guy had been having a really good series the entire day. He was like a little short of his PB. And then in round 6, Uziel Munoz of Mexico, 21.97. This is the first, I believe, it is the first ever global throwing medal by a Mexican athlete ever. Takes silver here. breaks his own Mexican record by 8 centimeters, comes up a little short of the 22-meter barrier. And I mean, this just being in the stadium for a competition like this was so ridiculous. Because you had, I mean, even Trip Pippery, who's just the most excitable guy in the world, like he finished 6th. And after every single throw, he was jumping up and down like he just broke the world record. Tom was super pumped after his 21.94. Ryan like was genuinely surprising himself with how well he was throwing. So everyone, like the marks weren't anything crazy. Even Leo Fabry, who ended up taking bronze, he said he called this the best competition of his career, even though he's thrown better than this like 25 times.
Is this his
before.
first?
No, he got
global
silver.
championship?
He got silver in Budapest.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, just the energy that all of those guys were bringing tonight was insane, and the competition was so much fun to watch.
Man, if Ryan had not been on, like, there's a chance U.S. would have missed the podium. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Hearing you describe all of that reminds me of like when there's home run derby and you have like all the athletes like with their cell phones out. At least back in the day, like jazzed up and pumped for watching all these athletes go crazy. I got to cut it with all the baseball comps. I've really realized that like I'm like throwing around a lot of baseball references, but
You need to make at least some of them Shohei related.
yeah, definitely. We've got the Shohei Ohtani themed track hat, the track and field hat actually, which people can get if they show up to our group run on the 18th if you're in Japan, 19th if you're in Japan. All right, I think that does it for day 1 of the World Championships here in Tokyo. It is 12:45 a.m. on Sunday. We are in the future. So if you're listening to this, thanks so much for tuning in. If you love what we're doing, be sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you're subscribed on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. That helps us, continue to push our way through the top charts and get discovered by more fans. Many thanks to ASICS for supporting all of CITIUS Mag's coverage over the next 9 days of competition, or 8 days, I guess, from now. And yeah, I love track and field. I have the Japanese translation, but I just need to double check.
No.
You don't know?
I don't know track and field though, but I'd say like ski des. Like ski des is like or love.
Okay.
But I don't know how to say track and field.
All right. Oh, just context on that. Anderson's like our he lived here for 2 years?
I lived here for 2 years, before the pandemic and all that. So so when I came here, I was a little worried because I live in New York. I haven't used Japanese in however long. But once I got back, started to hear more, started to read more, and I started to like speak a little bit again. I was like, oh crap, I got this. I can do a little bit.
It makes up for my inability to even use chopsticks out here. So we balance each other out very well.
Audrey and I had to ask for forks at the ramen place.
No,
don't do that.
Don't do that.
It was a mark of shame.
You got to struggle through it.
Wow. You just got, even I struggled through it. Wow, Paul. You should not have admitted that on the podcast. That is so bad. Anyway, all right, that's Paul's first strike. I'm glad you enjoyed the Shoppa competition. You might not make it the next couple days. All right, that does it. Or good night or good morning, wherever you are in the world. We'll see you again tomorrow.